O almanaque veio a Pequim e vai falar de rock e juventude. Rock feito por chineses e juventude em uma cidade que a cada ano muda mais que outras mudam em décadas. E é um pouco desse mundo que você vai conhecer agora. Curtir e New Move fazem sucesso em Pequim, tocando reggae, da melhor qualidade. Aliás, sucesso não só entre os chineses, mas também com os estrangeiros. Ou será o contrário? A banda Long Chantal foi pioneira em Pequim e ainda hoje, a única formada exclusivamente por chineses. O sucesso se justifica pelo talento dos músicos e pela receita bem azeitada de música da Jamaica com tempero chinês. Não é muito comum a gente ouvir falar de uma banda de reggae chinesa. Como isso começou?
OK， 是这样，现在世界都在一起，中国和世界在联系。所以，像每一个东西出来，在每个地方一样，是特别自然的一个事情。中国有计算机，中国有 reggae， 中国有每一个音乐，每一种乐器是世界上有的，所以特别自然的事情。我们试一试做有中国的特色的 reggae 的音乐，我们有中国的乐器古筝，然后我们以后还会尝试更多的民族的音乐放到我们的音乐里。同时，我们做的音乐不排斥别的风格，有 reggae 作为我们的音乐的中心，但是所有的音乐风格都在一起。我们希望有新的形式，有新的化学的东西产生出来在我们的音乐。
A inovação vem do uso na medida certa da batida do reggae com o Curtir, um instrumento milenar da cultura chinesa. Qual é a reação do público ao reggae de vocês e estrangeiros também vêm assistir ao show?
很多观众他们感到很吃惊，他们觉得很有意思，就是中国的民乐的一些乐器和它的元素和那个 reggae 这样的。就是很其他国家这样音乐结合在一起，然后确实有很多那个外国观众很喜欢我们的音乐，因为他们觉得是他们从来没有听过这样的 reggae。
Do you think the world is ready for you?
We not ready, but after we will show world of our music.
Pelo sucesso do Long Chantal em Pequim, esse dia não deve demorar. Encontrar boas novidades na cena do rock em Pequim, este é o trabalho de Charles Saliba, sócio de um selo alternativo chamado Maybe Mars. Nascido na Inglaterra, tem seu escritório também num local alternativo, num condomínio residencial bem chinês, longe do centro comercial. Ele vê um potencial enorme no mercado musical da China e acha que está no lugar certo, na hora certa. Charles Saliba é presidente da Maybe Mars, uma gravadora que acredita que Pequim tem todo o potencial para se tornar o centro da música da Ásia. You say that Beijing has the potential to become the musical center of Asia. Why so and why now?
Okay, well, since I first came to Beijing in China, I noticed that there are a lot of talent here, and Beijing really is the collection point for all the talent around China. There's really no other city that can even compare inside China. If a young kid wants to be a musician, wants to be an artist and become famous, they sort of feel they have to come to Beijing, and so that's why it's the best city in China, and I think the best chances. And you really just got to see the talent around you to sort of understand why I think it will be the capital, or already is becoming the capital.
But then, are we talking music in general, or are we talking rock?
We specialize in music, and rock is one of the genres we work with. I mean, it's not just rock. We do punk, indie, sort of some jazz, but rock is, I guess, the biggest catch-all for it all, and especially for rock, Beijing is definitely a catch-all.
It's quite obvious that a lot of changes have been going on in China in the last, few years. Did those changes lead to the music or to the possibility of selling this music here?
Yeah, I think so. I think after the death of Mao Zedong and with Deng Xiaoping, there was the whole big opening up of China, and I think the opening up has happened on all levels, on a sort of cultural level, political level, especially economic level.
In a country with a population as large as China, is the international market a concern or not really?
It's interesting. I mean, the international market, I think, is in some ways, as far as music downloads and those things, is sort of more developed, and in many ways, especially the developed world, has more money. So you can't really ignore it. I mean, we're currently right now looking into a deal of how can we sell. We want to make sure we sell our music in other countries, mainly digitally. We don't have much of the time and effort to be working out distribution deals of physical CDs, but we'd love to have our music up on iTunes and up on eMusic, up on all the sites where people download it. Because it's not something, people have more disposable income in America and Europe, I'm sure maybe even in Brazil. So this is the kind of thing we definitely are not ignoring it, but as everyone knows, it's such a large domestic market that that's our main focus, is the domestic market. And
do you think maybe a new style in music might be coming up?
Absolutely. I mean, that's part of, people decide, I've been asked this a few times before. We definitely think there is a Beijing sound that is developing, specifically a Beijing sound. Now the problem that, I know your next question is going to be to ask me to define it, and that's hard because I feel like it's kind of like describing a color to a blind person. How do you describe red to someone who can't see, like, red is red?
How would you describe the youth in China or in Beijing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a big question. How do I describe the youth? I'd say, I've done a lot of teaching here in China as well. When I first came out of China, I was as an English teacher, so it's a good way to get in touch with the youth and know what they're like. Amazing curiosity and appetite for learning. I mean, as most young people, they want to learn, they want to absorb everything. So they're always, of course, very interested in outside. It's still not very easy for young Chinese kids to go abroad. So they've got a very large appetite for learning what the world outside is like out there. So they'll always ask you, what to us might sound like cute basic questions because, we're kind of people who've traveled around, but not a lot of people have had the opportunity. So they want to know a lot about the outside world.
Pela experiência de Saliba, o sistema educacional chinês acaba por definir algumas características da juventude local.
It's too intense at times. I'm not sure exactly much about the Brazilian system, but here, so much, especially for kids who are in high school, so much depends on the one exam at the end of their last year of high school, where if you don't get a high grade, it's so much pressure. And then they're all most of them are single children, so they've got the pressure of also knowing they've got to support their families later. So that really, I just sometimes feel, all I want to do is like cry for these kids. Like, you guys, your life is, they seriously study 12 to 14 hours a day. They have longer days than most people working, and the pressure for the exam it's really something it's hard to understand.
What's your concept of fun?
That's the thing. Because if they want to do well in school, you sort of have this two-way system going on, where if they stay in the education system and want to do well, the concept of fun sort of has to be beat out of them. They have to understand, like, they just have to study most of the full time. If they decide to rebel against that, and you do have this little sort of under dark world where they've rebelled against the system, they've either dropped out of school or dropped out of university because they just don't see a need for it, then they have more options there, but they're always going to worry about their financial future, because if you don't have a good degree, then it's harder to get a good job, the typical kind of thing. The idea of fun here is still strange. There are lots of different, I'm not sure if you noticed yet how large the idea of KTV here, karaoke. It's huge, like, as in a lot of countries in Asia, and I still don't fully understand the appetite. I'm not a big fan of it. Maybe it's because I'm a bad singer, but that's a big aspect of it. But that's part of what we do in the music club. We're trying to encourage, especially because we're open in the university area where there are all these university students, and we think they should learn that. I think another good way of having fun is going out with your friends, having a beer, and watching a good live show, going to see a live music. And You know, since we opened our club 2.5 years ago, there've been at least 3 or 4 other big clubs that have opened, and most of them, you go on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, most of them are crowded. So it is a scene that's developing. I think more people are aware of it. I think 10 years ago, the concept of going to see a live show for Chinese youth was not very common. They really, nowadays, it's now, especially in big cities, it's much more common.
'Para o músico da banda Wang Wen, não é interessante ser identificado como uma banda chinesa. Prefere ter um som universal.
我们的音乐就很难用语言来描述，我觉得所有的音乐类型都很难用语言来讲，很多是用耳朵来听，或者是现场去看现场的表演。如果简单的用语言概括来说，就是我们是一支器乐，基本上是纯器乐的一个摇滚乐队。我们主要的是在营造一种音乐的一种氛围，让听众还有观众，然后在这种我们营造的这种音乐氛围里面，自由的畅想，自由的享受我们的音乐。
Se a atual geração de roqueiros chineses tem um pai, quem sabe um avô, ele é Tsui Chan. Seu rock tem o som do protesto, como os da Praça da Paz Celestial em 1989, quando sua música se transformou em um dos hinos dos estudantes que pediam por mais liberdade e o combate mais rígido aos casos de corrupção no governo chinês. A reação calou a sua música e os protestos. Mais de 20 anos depois do massacre da Praça da Paz Celestial e de um certo afastamento da mídia, Tsui Chan ainda carrega todo o espírito do rock and roll.
I think rock and roll music is the third voice or third noise, you know, beside the main melody. The main melody music is the government control. It's like army music. You know, like you can see that on CCTV. You know, or mainstream. Mainstream is like Canto pop music, soft music, because it's nothing really hurt anybody. You know, it's just there, nice. You know, it's nice to have it. So the young people, they get information from all the, you know, advertisement, or the TV program, you know, and then they want to have the lifestyle. They don't listen to the message from the music, but they want to get the message from what he or she lives, lifestyle. So they be safe. And I think rock and roll music is kind of talk about the problems. Rock and roll is more about the freedom of thinking, or the reality, or the anger. You know, there's something, you know, he doesn't like. You know, he just wants to express, you know, the feeling of the moment what he has now. So this is more important. That's the beauty of the rock and roll. I think now the music is becoming like a real plant. You know, grow up, yeah, growing. It's and face their own reality, talk their own story. But now it used to be like that. I think someone said the Chinese rock music is over, or someone said the best time is over. But I say it's wrong. That time is good because everybody had no choices, and then when the rock and roll just fly over, touch down the earth, and people think this is free, this is freedom, and so everybody think this is us, this represent us. But now I think people get more choices, commercial, you know, political, everything. So they don't pick up rock and roll anymore. Most of the young people, they listen to the easy listening or good viewing music, not listening music.
Se por um lado ele associa o rock a uma juventude mais engajada, também tem uma visão crítica sobre a garotada não pensante.
The rock music is old school. It's over already. Young people, they don't care about what is the message. They just care about what is the fashion.
E não esconde que até inveja dos jovens de hoje.
I want to be a grandson of myself. I don't want to be. I want to be the younger generation. I don't feel I do something. I did something. I just start doing something which I want to do, and I had a lot of fun, with music. So I'm not really suffering. So I would say I'll keep doing that, and I don't want to stop.
O Yugong Yishan é outro ponto de encontro de quem está em busca de novidades musicais. Uma vez por semana, é noite das reuniões improvisadas e inusitadas no palco. A ideia é botar a criatividade para fora. O melhor do atual rock de Pequim se encontra aqui. Pierre Blanc é o gerente artístico da casa. Ele conta como percebeu a mudança de frequência nos últimos anos. You said you felt a lot of change from when you got here until today. You think it's changing very fast. It's still going to change a lot.
Yeah, yes. The evolution between 2001 and today, it's totally crazy. In 6 years, maybe the evolution it's like 20 or 30 years in France. Donc it's very quick. They progress very quickly, and they adapt, and they take everything they can take from other people. They take the energy, they take the savoir-faire, they take the culture, and they adapt these things with the situation of the local life in Beijing. And in 6 years ago, in Beijing, you had 10 good bands. Now you have 100, 150 really good bands. And it's international. The level is really international. I think now the young Chinese people are more and more music culture. They understand and they listen more and more good music because it's very easy to listen music. Donc, I think the Chinese people have a better culture for the music.
A cada acorde da guitarra, a China de Mao Tse-tung e da Revolução Cultural vai ficando para trás. O retrato no muro da Cidade Proibida não assusta mais. Agora ele é também a silhueta no fundo do palco, observando a criatividade da juventude chinesa.
They want to control their life. The only thing they can really handle is money and jobs. They think spiritual stuff is uncontrollable. So maybe they will think, just forget about the spirit, just have fashion, have fun, and see what is the fashion, and that's the real control for their life. 什么都没有，你往下拨了拨，抓住我的手，你轻轻地把我的手捏成了一个拳头，然后放到你的嘴边，你咬了我一口，你看着我沉默，什么都没说，你往下拨了拨，抓住了我的手，你轻轻地把我的手。 捏成了一个拳头，然后放到你的嘴边，你咬了我一口。
追，还不会天空在。